There is a classic Brazilian song by the famous singer Gilberto Gil that begins like this. Rio de Janeiro is still beautiful. Rio de Janeiro is still... And it continues with, hello, hello, Realengo, big hug. Hello, Flamengo fans, big hug. But is it really still beautiful? A few months ago, we showed you a little scene side of Rio here on the channel. The forgotten favelas, the street crime, the urban violence, and the brutal contrast with the postcard images. Today, we turn the lens the other way. We will cross the tunnels that connect the asphalt to the South Zone, enter buildings with sea views, visit penthouses worth millions, and streets where silence is expensive. Because if, on the one hand, Rio lives under tension, on the other it still boasts. And a lot. Today, Bello Mundo takes you to see the Rio of the super rich, a parallel world where luxury continues to reign, helicopters replace cars, and the city, as Gilberto Gil would say, keeps on going. Number 1. Neighborhoods of the super rich. To begin this journey, we need to talk about addresses, because in Rio, your zip code says much more than where you live. It says how much you're worth. Rio's millionaires tend to live in some of the city's most exclusive neighborhoods: Leblon, Jardim Pernambuco, Roa, Gavea, and São Conrado. Names that, for those who know Rio, already come packaged with ocean views, guaranteed silence, and lots of money. In Jardim Pernambuco, for example, a gated community within Leblon, are some of the most expensive houses in Brazil. The most emblematic was sold in 2024 for no less than $3.5 million. A mansion with more than 2,700 square meters of floor space, a private cinema, library, garage for 16 cars, and a semi-Olympic swimming pool in the backyard. In Joá and São Conrado, the houses overlook the ocean, with a direct view of Pedra da Gávea. It is the kind of setting where breakfast is served with a sea breeze, and sometimes with a helicopter landing on the terrace. These neighborhoods are not only beautiful, they are heavily guarded. Gated entrances, private security, and streets where practically no one walks. Everything is planned to ensure what these residents value most: privacy. Inside, the luxury follows the same pattern. Rooms designed by renowned designers, works of art on the walls, and cutting-edge technology hidden in every detail. Some houses look like 6-star hotels, but with a name on the mailbox and a surname on the deed. Ultimately, living at one of these addresses is not just about living. It is about occupying a symbolic space within the city, a place where Rio de Janeiro remains beautiful, but only for those who can afford it. Number 2. High-end hotels and resorts. When they are not in their mansions, the wealthy visitors to Rio stay in legendary 5-star hotels or exclusive beachfront resorts. And what they are looking for is more than just comfort. They want history, status, and of course, breathtaking views. The first stop is the Hotel Emiliano on Copacabana Beach. The modern facade catches the eye, but it's inside that the game changes. Spacious rooms, suites with jacuzzis on the balcony, and service that pampers guests even when serving a simple cup of coffee. A standard room costs around $500 per night. But if you want to sleep in the Kubo suite, which is 135 square meters, has a private pool, and a panoramic view of the sea, the price can exceed $10,000 per night. Yes, $10,000. One step up is the classic Hotel Fasano in Ipanema. It is a favorite among celebrities, and for good reason. The rooftop infinity pool has a direct view of Morro dos Irmãos, one of Rio's most iconic postcard views. Here, the basic daily rate starts at around $600. But if you want a suite facing the sea with a living room, balcony, and VIP treatment, be prepared to invest more than $15,000 per night, all this with a design by the renowned Philippe Starck. Now, if the goal is to live like royalty, the right destination is the legendary Copacabana Palace. This five-star hotel has almost 100 years of history and has hosted everyone from European princesses to rock stars. The simplest rooms start at around $800. But if you want to stay in the penthouse with 119 square meters, a private bar, and a full view of the Atlantic, that's a different story. The daily rate can exceed $6,000 per night. In other words, luxury in Rio is not just a matter of comfort. It is an experience, exclusivity, and, of course, status. If you are willing to pay the price, you will be treated like royalty. Number 3. Fine dining and haute cuisine. In the Rio of the super rich, dining out is not just a meal, it is an event. And the most sought-after restaurants live up to their reputation and prices. Starting with Oro in Leblon. With 2 Michelin stars, the restaurant offers 2 tasting menus. The Afetividade costs $150, and the Criatividade is over $350 with wine pairing. There is also Otec, which focuses on high-quality Brazilian ingredients. The 8-course menu costs around $150. At Lasai, the menu featuring produce from its own garden can reach $200 per person, depending on the choice of wines. Inside the Copacabana Palace, Cipriani and MEE maintain their 5-star standard. Dinner there can easily exceed $250 per person, not including drinks. The classic Sushi Leblon remains a hotspot for celebrities and people willing to pay top dollar for sashimi and sparkling wine. For this crowd, there is no waiting in line. When your wallet allows, there is always a way to get the best table in the house. Number 4. Luxury tours and VIP transportation. Seeing the marvelous city in a privileged way is part of the itinerary for the wealthy. Instead of facing lines or crowds, they opt for private and glamorous experiences. Want to see Christ the Redeemer? How about getting there by helicopter? A 30-minute scenic flight over Rio, passing postcard sites such as Sugarloaf Mountain, the beaches of the South Zone, and Rodrigo de Freitas Lagoon, costs around $300 per person. But if it's private for a couple, it can easily exceed $5,000. And instead of schooners, luxury yachts take center stage. The daily rental of a high-end motorboat, with crew and all, is around $3,500. Some people take the opportunity to go to Buzios or Angra dos Reis in complete comfort and even turn the trip into a private party at sea, complete with French sparkling wine, a DJ on board, and freshly made sushi. At the classic tourist spots, the idea is to avoid crowds. You can schedule a visit to Christ the Redeemer outside peak hours with an exclusive guide and a clear backdrop for selfies. Or climb Sugarloaf Mountain in a private cabin, just you and the sunset, with a glass of sparkling wine included. On the ground, no Uber. Those with money tend to travel in Mercedes, BMWs, or armored SUVs with private drivers. And for those who like to be seen, there are luxury sports car rental companies. You can drive along the Barra waterfront in a Ferrari or Lamborghini, paying between $500 and $1,800 a day, depending on the model. In short, while most people face traffic jams, heat, and honking horns, this crowd sees Rio from above, from the sea, or from inside a V8, with air conditioning, privacy, and zero stress. Number 5. Exclusive services, beach clubs, spas, and premium beauty treatments. In the Rio of millionaires, Even the beach is different. No plastic chairs, Globo cookies, or makeshift coolers. Those with money enjoy the coast at private beach clubs or in VIP areas set up by luxury hotels, with cushioned sun loungers, waiters serving chilled sparkling wine, and snacks created by chefs. It's like having a private backyard on the sand, but with a view of the sea at Ipanema or Barra. Another classic haunt for the wealthy is the Costa Brava Club in Joa. Hidden among the rocks and with a saltwater pool carved into the rocks, the place has super restricted access. Only members or guests are allowed in. No crowds. For those who really want to relax, luxury spas offer almost sensory experiences. The Copacabana Palace, for example, is known for its treatments with Amazonian ingredients and massages that can cost over $800 per session. At Fasano, you can enjoy the famous day spa, including a hot tub, massage, sauna, and a drink on the rooftop afterwards, with a view of the sunset, luxury, privacy, and a cost that few can afford. Number 6. Luxury nightlife, parties, rooftops, and exclusivity. Just as they enjoy their days with helicopters, beach clubs, and $1,000 spas, when the sun goes down, Rio's wealthy also know how to enjoy the night, and with style. No waiting in line at nightclubs or squeezing onto crowded dance floors. The nightlife for this crowd happens on star-studded rooftops, in five-star hotel lounges, and at parties in mansions with private security. The rooftop of the Hotel Fasano in Ipanema, for example, is a classic. An illuminated pool, sea views, and champagne on ice. Only those with reservations are allowed in, and sometimes even that's not enough. Up there, DJs play background music while Rio's elite exchange discreet gifts in the evening breeze. Another favorite is Exo Gastrobar at the top of the Hotel Janeiro in Leblon. Perfect for those who want to eat well, drink even better, and as a bonus, bump into a celebrity without photographers around. The bar at the Hotel Emiliano attracts a more mature crowd who prefer quiet sophistication to loud music. But if you're really looking to party, there are private events in mansions in Barra or Joa. These are parties organized by ultra-select promoters with international DJs, an open bar with 18-year-old whiskey, a sushi buffet, and even a samba school drumming live just for guests. The cars, BMWs, Porsches, Land Rovers, all with guaranteed parking in the house's garage. And no entering through the front. Guests enter through side gates away from the press and curious onlookers. There are also temporary clubs set up only during major events such as Formula One or art fairs. These are called pop-up clubs with restricted entry, a signature wine list, and a strict dress code. Men in shirts and shoes, women in designer dresses. In some penthouses in Copacabana or Ipanema, more intimate parties are organized by millionaires who rent the entire floor just to celebrate their birthday. And it's not uncommon for them to end with private fireworks over the sea, right in front of the shore. At the end of the day, the nightlife of Rio's super rich is exactly that. Exclusive, well-served, and far from the spotlight. Number 7. Personalized services and tailor-made pampering. And since we're talking about side entrances and zero exposure, the truth is that behind the luxurious life in Rio, there is a whole machine working behind the scenes. Private chefs, security guards, butlers, drivers, concierges. Those who have money surround themselves with professionals who take care of everything, often without even being noticed. It's almost a rule to get around town in an armored car with a private driver. And it's not just for driving. These drivers often become true personal assistants, Picking up orders, organizing schedules, and resolving issues along the way. Security is also part of the package. Former police officers or military personnel discreetly accompany billionaire families on trips through the streets, shopping malls, or beaches. And in hotel suites or vacation homes, a butler or housekeeper coordinates everything, from arranging the suites to a private chef's dinner by the sea. There are professionals who can put together everything from a gourmet barbecue to a menu of the freshest seafood, all in the comfort of your balcony, overlooking the sunset in Ipanema. When it comes to shopping, the service is also personalized. Personal shoppers accompany you to designer stores. Stylists put together entire outfits. There are even those who organize your travel luggage in capsule style. And the concierge? Essential. They can do everything from booking an impossible table to securing a private tour of the Museum of Tomorrow, just for you. And yes, even the most unusual requests are taken into consideration. There was a case of a client who requested that a jewelry store in Ipanema be closed just for him, or called a helicopter at the last minute to fly over the city at sunset, and his request was granted. With this level of care and agility, every detail becomes a tailor-made experience. Because in Rio, the city of millionaires, comfort and discretion go hand in hand, and there is no such phrase as "it can't be done" in the vocabulary of those who work behind the scenes. Number 8. Events and experiences that only the rich can access. Think that's it? There's more to show. And now we get to the events and experiences that are practically reserved for those with generous bank accounts. Rio's calendar has dates and parties that become the exclusive territory of the elite. The best example of this is Carnival. But we're not talking about the crowd in the stands dancing with cans in their hands. We're talking about the VIP boxes at Marquês de Sapucaí, where the parade becomes almost an afterthought. The most famous boxes, such as Camarote Numero and Camarote Brahma, are practically mini resorts set up inside the Sambadrome, premium open bar with 18-year-old whiskey, buffet by a renowned chef, live DJ, air conditioning, makeup area, celebrities parading back and forth, and of course, enhanced security. A ticket? It costs between $700 and $1,500 per night, depending on the day, the box, and the package chosen. And even then, there's a waiting list. Another event that millionaires don't miss is New Year's Eve in Copacabana. While most people squeeze onto the sand with farofa and cider, they are at private parties with a privileged view of the fireworks. One of the most traditional is the Copacabana Palace, which organizes a gala ball with a full dinner, French champagne, and live music. Tickets cost around $900 per person. But there are those who prefer to rent a penthouse with a sea view, hire a private DJ and bartender, and throw their own party with a few guests, only people on their personal list. Throughout the year, there are also very exclusive events, private concerts by famous artists at investor dinners, intimate bossa nova concerts for invited guests only in a mansion in Santa Teresa, or art gallery previews with the artist in attendance and endless glasses of sparkling wine. Ultimately, the rich don't just visit or live in Rio, they create a parallel version of the city, with everything filtered, organized, and personalized to offer fun without risk, without lines, without crowds. Everything is tailor-made. This whole style of traveling, with helicopters on the agenda, tailor-made dinners, and movie-like accommodations, is not just ostentation. It drives a large slice of Rio's economy. Today, Rio de Janeiro is considered the #1 luxury tourism destination in Brazil, preferred by 10.9% of high-end travelers, according to an annual industry report. In other words, among the wealthiest Brazilians, the marvelous city leads as the choice for exclusive travel, ahead of places like Fernando de Noronha, and Gramado, and it's no coincidence. The infrastructure geared toward this audience is constantly growing. Boutique hotels, personalized experiences, international concierge services. Everything is designed to cater to those who don't want to wait in line for anything, not even to order coffee. Overall, luxury tourism generates around $14 billion a year in Brazil, and Rio takes a considerable slice of that pie. Whether it's five-star accommodation, $1,000 menus, or yacht rentals to Angra. Now, we want to hear from you. If you had a fortune that would make Wall Street jealous, which of these extravagances would suit you best? Dinner at Oro? A helicopter flight with sparkling wine? Or a secret party night high above Ipanema? Tell us in the comments, and while you're at it, enjoy the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell because Bello Mundo is just getting started. Thank you very much for joining us, and see you next time.